Hello, good afternoon. This is David Study talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of December 30th, 2019 and January 3rd, 2020. Okay, so we're moving into a brand new year, and I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone in my group. Please remember that this coming New Year's Day is Wednesday, and January 1st, and the market is closed. Okay, there will be no trading that day. And last year, on January 1st, the market had a huge, like 5,000 point crash. Okay, and it happened overnight, and it wiped out people's accounts. Okay, this was intentional by the market makers, by the big banks, by the whatever you want to call them, Illuminati, whoever controls the market. Okay, and these banks did this on purpose to basically reset people's accounts. Okay, wipe people out. They had a big payday as a result. So what I recommend is, if you can, do not hold any trades open over Wednesday. Okay, close all trades this coming Tuesday, and then Thursday you can resume trading. Okay, that'll probably be the safest thing to do. Okay, I cannot predict what's going to happen this coming New Year's, if they're going to do the same scenario that they did last year. It was very sad, very unfortunate. I lost a lot of money as well. So I know a lot of people lost a lot of money, and then people are upset about that. So I don't want to see you lose money again on the same scenario. Okay. So anyhow, this week's trading predictions, I want to start by saying that EURUSD, Pound USD, and Australian US dollar, AUDUSD, all had a steady gain. Okay, which is kind of what I predicted, and the US dollar had a steady drop. Okay, across most of its currency pairs. So that was to be expected. The U.S. dollar has been slowly working itself into a downtrend. But as I've said in previous videos, the U.S. dollar is the strongest currency in the world, and it will not go down without a fight. Okay, so you can expect a lot of range of markets to occur. And right now, as you see right here, I'm looking at EURUSD right now. As you look at this right now, you can see the movements are very small. And that's because of the holiday season. Okay, so you see all these candles are very small, not very big. Okay, so we had some big movements here towards the end of the week, but overall we had very small movements. Okay, and as you see here, the Euro USD here, it ended higher than when it started, so we had a steady gain. If we look here at a 4-hour chart, okay, we see that it hit a pretty strong level of resistance. Okay, and it's already starting to come back down a bit. Okay, 1 hour shows that it wants to come down here. Okay, but the 4-hour does not have a red arrow yet. Now if we go to the daily, we have a red arrow. Okay, and no blue arrow is formed. So this kind of tells me that yes, this is in a very strong level of resistance, even though the 4-hour is not showing a red arrow, which it might on Monday. We don't know till the market opens. But yes, this is at a very strong level of resistance, which has hit numerous times in the past. So based on historical data, we can assume that EURUSD will be dropping this week. Okay, so it is safe to say that I would look for sell opportunities only for the EURUSD. Okay. Now, long term, if we look at the weekly and monthly charts, we have an up arrow, meaning that long term this will be going up. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the weekly chart has hit a strong level of resistance numerous times, right? Okay. More than likely, it's going to drop this week. Going into the new year, we should see a surge. Okay, and we should see this gain more traction. I think that this week we're going to see mostly just a flat range of market, especially with New Year's being closed. So anyhow, I would look for sell opportunities only for EURUSD. Although if you base off a 30-minute chart, you can definitely look for buy opportunities as well. Just be patient. Okay, the beginning of the week is going to drop. Okay, and then Wednesday's close, probably around Thursday, we should see a resurge and rebound for this to go back up. then you probably could look to buy as well, okay? But at least in the beginning of the week, I would look for sell opportunities only. Moving on to pound USD, we kind of see the same scenario where the price ended a little bit higher than where it began, okay? But overall, it's most of a ranging market. You look here on the 4-hour chart, we see a little bit different story, okay? We had an up arrow that, had a steady uptrend this past week, but they hit a pretty strong level of resistance and it's starting to drop now, at least according to the 1-hour chart, okay? But if we look at the daily, even the weekly, I think, no, just the daily, it shows a down arrow, okay? So, what does that mean? That, yes, this is going to be dropping this week, okay? So, we need to be looking for sell opportunities with this, okay? Now, like I said, the 4-hour shows an up arrow. So, what's going to happen? What I think is that even though the 4-hour shows up, it's going to be steadily dropping this week. And it's going to drop, at least in the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday, we'll see this drop. And we'll probably see a rebound come back up a ways. The 4-hour does not show a red arrow yet. And it'll probably drop a ways and come back up again. And then once it hits the same level of resistance, which I can mark right here, if it comes back up to that same level of resistance, it's going to form a down arrow, okay? I can pretty much guarantee that. And then, at least according to the 4-hour, we should see another drop. So in the beginning of the week, look to sell. And towards the end of the week, look to buy, okay? Pretty much the same scenario as EURUSD. Like I said, long term, it's going to be going up. Okay, if you look at the weekly, look at the monthly, we have an up arrow, okay? So long term, this is going up, all right? But for this week only, you're going to see more of a ranging market, all right? And that's probably going to hold true for most currency pairs. So like I said, in the beginning of the week, look to sell, and then towards the end of the week, look to buy. Australian dollar, US dollar, same scenario. We had a steady up climb. 4-hour hit a strong level of resistance. Oops. Here. And let's look at the daily and weekly. Daily shows to go down, and the weekly shows to go up. Okay. And I believe the monthly also. So kind of the same scenario. Okay. So the daily and the 4-hour showing to go down. So I would expect this to be dropping for most of the week. So again, look for sell opportunities in the beginning of this week, okay? When you get towards the end of the week, like Thursday and Friday, you can look for a buy opportunity as well, okay? So we're going to probably see more of a ranging market with this Australian dollar, US dollar, and like I said, it's pretty much true for all the currency pairs. US dollar, Swiss franc, we had an inverse from the other currency pairs I previously mentioned, and where this has dropped off, all right, this past week, dropped off considerably from where it began, considering that it is the Christmas season and there's not any huge movements, okay? So we had a nice little drop off, but if we look at the daily chart, well, let me go to the 4-hour. 4-hour hit a strong level of support, okay, and should be going up, okay? But if we look at the daily, we don't have no up arrow yet, okay? Weekly shows to go down, and the monthly shows to go down. So long term, this is going to be dropping. I want you to understand that. And like I've said in the past, the US dollar is the strongest currency in the world, and we cannot expect it to just go down without a fight, okay? So yes, long term it should be dropping, but you're going to see a rebound, okay? You're going to see a resurge, and it's going to gain momentum, it's going to gain strength, and you'll see it spike back up, okay? On the daily chart, we had this down arrow. This is quite a while back, okay? This is back in September, October, November, December. So last 3 months, we've had mostly ranging market. With finally here in December, we've had a steady drop in December, okay? So now is kind of hit a pretty strong level of support, and we should see this resurge and come back up, okay? Now, it's not going to be a big gain, but for this week only, this week, I would look for buy opportunities. Okay, because like I said, the 4 hour and the 1 hour all show to go up. Okay, so now is a good time to buy. When you get towards the end of the week, like Thursday and Friday, you'll probably have a good opportunity to sell as well, and you can sell at that point. But just double check at the hourly, 30-minute chart, 1 hour, and the 30-minute chart to confirm your entries, and don't get in a hurry to trade. Okay, do remember that it's still a holiday season, and that there's really not a lot of high impact news to move the market. So all the movement is going to be very minimal, and there's not going to be any huge gains or huge money to make. Although there was, if you trade for the whole week here, you see a huge drop right here. Okay, you had about a 800, 900 point drop, okay, in 1 week. That's pretty good. Pretty good movement considering it's a holiday. Now, moving on to US dollar, Japanese yen, we saw mostly a flat range in market where the price ended pretty much where it began. And if we look here on the 4 hour chart to kind of get an idea of what the market is doing, we see it has been flat ranging for quite a while. And all we have is a red arrow here, okay? So it never actually formed a downtrend like we had hoped it would, okay? And it's okay, because typically this is kind of an inverse relationship to what US dollar Swiss franc does. It has like an inverse operation. So this typically goes up. If the US dollar Swiss franc goes down, this one will typically go up. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but we do see that we're at a pretty strong level of resistance right now. It just hasn't dropped. Okay, so anyhow, long term, I feel that long term this will be going up. Okay, I could be wrong. The monthly chart shows has a red arrow here, but that was a long time ago. We had this arrow, okay, and if we draw a downtrend like this, okay, we have, this is our resistance on the monthly chart. So are we at that resistance right now? No, but we could get to that. We're not very far. So right now we're at a level of resistance right here, okay, that we have not broken through, but I think we're going to break through. Now, when are we going to break through? Not this week, okay? I think we're going to range for a while, but then it's eventually going to break and hit this trend line, okay? It's going to take some time, okay? It'll probably take the next few weeks, definitely in the new year, okay? So this week, what we do for this week, since the 4 hour chart shows it wants to go down, I would look for sell opportunities only. It's really hard to say, but keep it on a 30-minute chart, okay? 30-minute chart, because it's been ranging. We see here that it had a red arrow and has dropped a little ways, and the beginning of the week is probably going to drop even more, but we should see a blue arrow form somewhere in here, I don't know, and you can buy at that time and then sell again. It's really difficult to say. Right now, everything is pointing down, okay? So what I would do, since the smaller time frames like the 5 minute and I think 15 minute shows it go down. Oh yeah, it goes. So the smaller time frames right now are pointing up, okay? So we're going to see this rebound and come back up on Monday, okay? Then probably Monday going into Tuesday, we'll see this drop again. When it gets ready to drop, that is when you want to sell. So if the 5 minute and 15 minute chart show a sell signal, that is when you want to get in and sell, okay? Do not sell right this minute, okay? Wait till probably about Tuesday and then jump into a sell trade. And you should see this drop for most of the week. Okay, that is kind of what I'm guessing, and based on historical data here, we've had a lot of ranging, a flat ranging market. So do not expect any huge movements, but do expect to sell this week only, okay, because the US dollar has weakened. Now, US dollar, Canadian dollar is this kind of the same scenario. It has dropped off considerably this past week, dropped off, ended a lot more than where it began. Obviously, if we look at the higher time frames, like the 4 hour, we see that it's hit a strong level of support and wants to come back up. Okay, the daily as well, even though we don't have a up arrow here, okay, we can still look at this and eyeball and say, okay, yes, it has hit a pretty strong level or area of support and should be going back up. Okay, because we have on the daily we have an up arrow here. We never formed a red down arrow, okay, to sell, but it did drop. So with that said, it should be going back up. Okay, and then but if we look at the weekly, this is the problem though. If you look at the weekly, it shows a down arrow, and the monthly as well. So long term, this is going to be dropping, just like the US dollar Swiss franc. Okay, long term it's going to be dropping, but in the short term it's going to rebound and come back up. So for this week only, I would look for buy opportunities. Okay, in the beginning of the week, definitely want to buy, and then probably towards the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, look to sell. Okay, it's probably going to hit a strong level of resistance and it's going to drop again. Okay, so mostly this week we're going to see a range in market. Okay, maybe I should see the price should end higher than where it started, but we're going to have about a lot of highs and lows. Okay, that's kind of what I'm predicting this week. Okay, the beginning of the week you want to buy, and towards the end of the week you want to sell. Okay, pretty easy, right? So anyhow, that is my weekly trade predictions for all the major currency pairs. If you have a question about a different currency pair, please feel free to contact me on Facebook. There is a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group. You can join my Facebook group, post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and then myself or other traders can assist you, and we can all collaborate as a team. Okay, that's kind of my plan for having this Facebook group. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful trading week ahead. I hope you actually make some money, but make sure you close out all trades this coming Wednesday or Tuesday rather, before the market closes, and that way you don't have any trades open through the new year. Okay, that's just kind of my advice. You don't have to follow my advice, but based on what happened last year, I would do that. Okay, so with that said, let me have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you and have a wonderful week.